In this video, I'm going to be discussing with you the theory of making your ancestors proud. Now, if you've been in the personal development space for a while, or even if you've been into the men's space on social media, you've heard about the concept of making your ancestors proud, right? And I want to delve into the depth of that and the importance of living in a way that would make your ancestors proud, okay? So, first of all, if your family were to visibly see every single action that you are taking in private, would they be happy with you? Now, I'm not talking about if you're in a relationship, if you're sleeping with your girlfriend, that kind of thing. I'm speaking about the actions that you take by yourself. Can you say that your day-to-day routine is ideal? Do you reckon they'll be happy if they could sit and watch a documentary of your daily habits? How do you think your family would react? Remember, in our human instincts that have been lost back in the day, in the times of real tribalism, if we were holding the tribe down, if we were taking actions which weren't respectable, which damaged the tribe name, which damaged the tribe progress, we would literally be kicked away from the tribe. We would be kicked out. We would no longer be allowed to live with that community. And sometimes you would even be killed. So ask yourself, right? If we were to go back to this primal time of families and communities, would your actions lead to the progression of your ancestors? Would it lead to the progression of your tribe? Would you be conquering new areas? Would you be progressing? Would you be increasing the health, the prosperity, the wealth of your community, of your tribe? Or would your actions lead to them being diminished? Would they be seen as weak by the enemy? Would your tribe be losing their wealth? Would they be losing their power? Would they be losing their land because you're spending time focusing on these weak-minded habits? Okay, so in this generation, what are the kind of weak habits that would drive you further away from your tribe and further away from conquering your purpose and helping your tribe, which could be your family, your current friendship group? What actions could you be taking right now that are driving your tribe towards a bad result? Okay, for example, you're a young man, but you spend a lot of your time on social media. You're sacrificing your purpose. You're sacrificing your opportunity to improve your tribe's quality of life for simple hits of gratification, whether that's social media, whether that's porn, whether that's watching Netflix or playing video games, when you haven't made any real progression for your tribe or yourself. And now remember, no matter how small the habit may seem, if it is something you are doing on a routine basis, day in and day out, even if it's like 2-3 times a week and it's becoming habitual, this is having a negative impact on your self-image. So how you view yourself, okay? And how you view yourself reflects into how you treat yourself and how you respect yourself, which then reflects onto how other people treat and respect you. And then as a wider part, how people view your family, your tribe, your friendship group, okay? So to sit here and say the small time that you spend wanking or playing video games or scrolling doesn't have any impact on the other people around you is, to be honest, a little bit delusional. And you need to be positively delusional in the fact that every habit that you make that improves your life, improves your chances of prosperity, improves your fitness, improves your health, has a direct impact on the entire tribe around you, and therefore the other tribes' views on you and the tribe as a whole. And as a man, you should be the ones implementing the positive habits and making these habits routine for yourself and the other men in your tribe, so that you are seen as a stronger tribe. You're seen as a stronger collective. Your habits are absolutely essential, and they mean way more than anyone could ever describe, not just for yourself, but for the progression of your family, the progression of your friendship groups. If you are a literal wanker, if you are an obsessive drinker, if you are a vapor, if you smoke weed on a daily basis, it is likely that you're surrounded by these people. And if people from outside of your tribe see that you are surrounded by these losers, they assume the iPhone storage got full then. So frustrating. Anyway, look, if people see that you are vaping, if people see that your tribe are smoking weed, they're heavy drinkers, they're clearly weak people, then your entire tribe is going to be reflected onto for that. Do you really want to be responsible for a negative image of your family because you spend your time hanging around with losers and people who aren't progressing? Like, you seriously have to think about this kind of thing. Like, it's not just your image, it's the image that is represented onto your family. So the first point I would make for this, you need to start living as if your ancestors and family and your future family are watching every move and every encounter that you have with your friends. It's so important. So going on to number 2, how can you change this, right? Jordan Peterson said something that really stuck into my mind, and it's something that I've used quite frequently on my journey towards progression, right? And he said that you should sit on the edge of your bed with a pad and a pen and really think to yourself, what things am I doing that are completely just fucking up my life? What am I doing which is just so apparently wrong and moving me in a complete wrong direction that I know I am doing wrong? And you should sit there with your pen, with your pad, and write down the things that come to mind. And you will see how blatantly stupid they are, but you will also understand just how tied into these things that you are. Whether you're smoking weed on a regular basis, whether it's late night snacks where you're eating shit food that are hurting your development, hurting your insides, whether it's the vaping, whether it's the smoking that you're doing, whether it's the poor friends that you're hanging around with, whether it's the masturbation that you're doing behind closed doors. You know, I keep going on about this topic of masturbation, but it's genuinely something that massively hinders your progression as a man. It distracts you. You're watching pixels on a screen. You could be out there chasing after real females, but because you're hiding behind a closed door, you're learning nothing from it, and you're tricking your mind into thinking that you've spunked and you're recreating human life. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. There is nothing more pathetic than being a wanker. And that is a term that needs to be brought back. You need to start calling people wankers. If your friends are openly telling you about the times that they've masturbated, you need to fucking tell them straight up, you are a wanker. And don't tell them it in a light way. It's pathetic, seriously. But as Jordan Peterson said, sit at the end of your bed and think about what things you are doing, which are inherently just fucking up any progression that you could be making, okay? That is the thing that you should focus on. That is the thing that you should cut out of your life immediately as soon as possible. You don't need to write a plan. You don't need to sit there and say, oh, I'll have to ease myself off of it. If it is something that is detrimental to your progress and to the image of your tribe, I'm going to keep coming back to that point, to the image of your tribe, to the image you have of yourself, there's no point weaning off of it. Fuck it off completely. Just bin it. Just get rid of it. Get rid of the habit. Get rid of anything that's within the habit. It will be painful. It will be difficult, but there is no smooth way of doing it. You don't ease yourself off by having like, oh, a few drinks here and there. No, fuck that. If it's having a detrimental effect on your progress and you know it is awful for you, cut it off wholly and truly. Okay? Now, number 3. This is the number one thing that is being left behind in today's society, in the masculine society, and in society as a whole. Look, for women, I have leeway. Women act on emotions purely, okay? They do things, and let's be honest, they can struggle to take accountability, and that is fine. But what is not okay is for men to not take accountability for your life. If you are sat here, right, and you know that you've just done that task that I spoke about, you've done the Jordan Peterson task, you've written down a list of things that you know are detrimental to your progress and are stopping you from being the man who you want to become. but you lack the accountability to actually say, okay, these are fucking me up. I need to take action. Or my friends are calling me fat. I feel upset. I don't know what to do about it. Or I don't know, my girlfriend just broke up with me because I'm weak. She tells me I'm weak. She's left me for a stronger man. You need to take these situations in life and not cry about it, but take the feeling that you've got, accountability for yourself, add accountability to yourself, take in the pain and push forward and say, look, I am fucking up in this area of my life. This has caused me to lose a girl. This has caused me to lose respect for my friends. This caused me to lose respect for myself. I'm going to take the accountability to know what I'm doing wrong, be truthful with myself about that, because truth with yourself improves the respect that you have for yourself, and then continue moving forward in a direction of improvement. So, being honest with yourself about habits is showing awareness and accountability. Look, being aware of your own negative habits is the first step that you need to take in order to get rid of them. If you are aware enough that you know the things that you are doing wrong, then you can take steps forward to being accountable. Accountability is being left behind in this generation. We don't hold ourselves accountable, and it's largely because we're also not holding others accountable. We're in a generation where it's seen as offensive to hold your friends accountable for things they aren't doing. People get offended. People act upon their emotions all the time. We're told that we're fine how we are, which is removing the accountability that we have from our weak selves. If we're living a life eating sugary snacks, drinking every weekend because it feels good, oh, you only live once, yeah, fuck that. Mate, you need to be accountable. You need to tell yourself, right, that I'm doing nothing with my life. Right? I'm doing nothing with my life. You're watching this kind of content, so you want to be doing something with your life. It starts with accountability. Accountability for yourself, accountability for your friends. Start being honest. We need harsh truth as men. We need the honest, harsh truth. It hurts to start with, but it leads to excellent results. We cannot be pussyfooted, told, oh, you're fine how you are. We can be, but it creates a stupidly weak generation, as we can see now. We need young men to stand up, like me, like other people in the space, to say, look, you are not okay how you are. If you're drinking every weekend, one Friday, Saturday, you're eating like shit, you're hanging around with people who are smoking weed all the time, you're creating a bad image for yourself, your family, your ancestors, your future family. It's time you fucking take some accountability, snap into yourself, wake up and start moving towards a better you. Think of your tribe. We're going to close it off with this point yet again. Think of your tribe. Take yourselves in your mind back to the time of true tribalism, where you were fighting, conquering land, strength as unity, strength as a collective. If one person was weak, they were left behind. That's how it is. That's how it was. And that's how it always has been up until about 200 years ago. You need to snap back into that tribalism, that tribal state of mind. How are your actions going to be perceived by the rest of your tribe? You think that when you're doing these bad habits and you're, jerking off daily and you're losing this self-respect, you think that your tribe don't notice, but they do. And it's one of two things. Either they notice and they have so much self-respect that they're going to tell you, and they're going to start moving away from you because you're not really changing. You're not keeping up with them. Or you are hanging around the same losers. You're hanging around the losers who have the same habits, the same interests. Again, the smoking, the weed, the drinking all the time. Think of your home tribe. Think of your family. Think about your future self. And genuinely think, if your ancestors saw you and your friends as a collective, would they be proud of you? Would they be proud of the connections that you have, the habits that you take part in, the way you socialize with these people? Or would they be there kicking you out of the fucking village, saying you're shit, you're weak, you're holding us back, whilst everyone else is getting stronger? You're meant to be the man providing for us. You're meant to be the man going out fucking hunting, bringing strength to our tribe, being supportive of our community, helping us build as our tribe. Already going to be sat there thinking, this guy is a fucking wanker. You are a wanker. Get out. Get out of the tribe. Boom! Abolished. Seriously, are you a weakness to your tribe, or are you going to be a provider of prosperity? Take accountability. It's time to change. It is up to you. Watch this kind of content. Take it on board. Follow the From Boys to Man blueprint on Instagram. I'll attach my Discord server down below as well so you can connect with like-minded individuals. But wake the fuck up and make your ancestors proud.